Hi guys, how you going? Hoping that this is better than the last one I showed you last year. Anyway, this is a bit of an experiment to introduce you guys to this sort of concept, because when it comes time for you to go home and to watch the homework, or to watch whatever it is that I'm teaching you, you're not just going to know how to do it straight off. You know, we need to go through what I expect of you when you do it. So let's do that with an example right now. So we're going to be looking at Tim Burton. That's the very first thing we do. That's because it helps us to understand a director, and from a director's point of view, we start to understand every little element of plays, because directors need to look at it. I remember growing up and feeling there is not a lot of room for acceptance. You're taught at a very early age to conform to certain things. This quote by Tim Burton really does demonstrate the ideas of his movies, the themes, this idea of acceptance, of non-conformity, and growing up, whether it is from a young age to an older age or through a process of emotions. There is growth in all of his movies. So this is Tim Burton, if you don't know what he looks like. He is well known for his crazy hair, and he has a very specific sort of style of movie, and there's a few of his movies. We'll be looking at a couple of them. One of them that we'll be looking at is Beetlejuice. We'll probably be looking at Edward Scissorhands, and we'll see where we go from there. But the more that we get to know him, the easier the essay will be to actually go. So this is some of his drawings. Tim Burton's quite a good drawer, and he's got quite a unique style that goes through into the animations that he's done. Now, I mentioned before about understanding Tim Burton's style. So Tim Burton's style is really influenced by Gothic, all things Gothic. So one of the things is Gothic architecture. We can straight away look at this, and if you know anything about Tim Burton, you can imagine elements of it, not all of it, but elements of it to be used in his movies. The ideas of Gothic art, where people started looking at more than just nice depictions of religion. People started looking at the darker side. I think the one on the left is someone being taken by Satan, maybe. And what they are is they're just sort of that, looking at the other side of life, which is something that Tim Burton does. He's influenced a lot by Gothic art and literature like Frankenstein that he draws on in Frankenweenie, and also these ideas that there is a light to life, but there's also a dark side to life as well, and we as humans often ignore it, but it is worth paying attention to. German Expressionism is something that has influenced Tim Burton as well, and Expressionism really is the look at a darker side of life. It comes from Germany because after the war there were so many people with just horrific experiences they needed to share, and they did that through many different ways, and one way was paintings. And this is some non-German Expressionism. But it's that idea that there is another side of life. So that's all we're going to look at for today's lesson. So I hope that you've taken some notes on that, and next lesson we'll come together and we'll discuss it. But for those of you who know something about Tim Burton, I'd like you to be able to contribute something to the discussion next lesson. So I want you to think about, and for those of you who don't know Tim Burton, maybe you'll do a little bit of research. Can you look into what are some themes that are really common in his movies? What are some ideas? Now, and I've already given you some, so I'm expecting you to come with something more to add to that. So can you please come to lesson prepared to talk and discuss? We'll increase our knowledge. All right, catch you.